Hello, everyone. Matt McQueenie here of the Mix Minus podcast. I just wanted to come to you and talk a little bit about the newest streaming music service out there called Tidal. It's actually not very new. I think it was called WIMP, and it was created from a Scandinavian company. It was an offshoot of the CD store HMV. I believe that's the company out there. It would almost be like back in the day we used to have Sam Goody. I guess if Sam Goody started a streaming music service. But it was started and they tried to jump into the UK and the US markets and called it Tidal at that point. And about a month ago, which would be March, it was announced that Jay-Z had bought the service with a group of investors for somewhere around $50 to $55 million. And many people looked at it and said, boy, this just looks like a kind of cult of self-play. What's he going to do with a streaming music service? But everybody's been trying to follow along with Beats, where you had Dr. Dre make $1 billion or so by creating a headphone company and ultimately a streaming music service as well by the same name of Beats. And they were bought by Apple, a year ago now? And it looks like Apple's going to fold Beats into their iTunes service and have some kind of subscription service. But you sit there and wonder, why is Jay-Z doing this? What can he get out of this? There's so many players in this field, and by the looks of it, no one's really making money in it. Spotify's doing it the best, another Scandinavian company, and they have about 15 million paying subscribers who are paying typically about $10 a month, which gives you full access with no ads on mobile devices, including smartphone, tablet, and computer. There's also a lower model, price model at $5, where you get unlimited, ad-free music on the desktop computer or laptop computer. But they have about 15 million people, and I think around 60 million who use the service on a free basis. So they're not making, I think, a lot of money. I mean, they're doing well, but they have to pay out a lot of royalties to musicians and labels. And I think I read that Spotify is actually 15% owned by the music labels. And I was sitting there wondering, why would the music labels allow this to happen to themselves? And that's why, because they're paying it. But it's something that's going to be really interesting to watch. So why did Jay-Z do it? Because it all came to fruition in the last week or so. He's brought in all the top musicians in the game to pay or to be basically owners in this. So from the Coldplays to the Madonnas, all the people who are the exclusive musicians, there's like 20 of them who can call their own shots, and they don't have to be in any streaming music service. They can demand how they want things to be. So by bringing them into the process, the only place that Tidal really can make a difference is by giving exclusives. So today, or maybe yesterday, we're somewhere in the beginning here of April, Beyonce released an exclusive song on Tidal, and that's obviously easy, being Jay-Z's wife, and she's probably an investor in it as well through the family. But she released an exclusive song, so that's where it's going to be a key, is the exclusives, and maybe those 3 to 6 month exclusives. Because even on Spotify, we saw with Taylor Swift when she pulled all her stuff off Spotify with her newest album that came towards the end of 2014. There are artists who can call their shots and who can make people pay for their music. But if they have a stake in the game, a la Tidal, then maybe they don't mind about their music going out into streaming services right away at release. So if they can actually get that to happen, if Jay-Z can get these top musicians to allow their music to be there at launch, that will be something that they can stand out from the crowd. And that was really what I was looking for, because there's also a piece to this where they have a $20 a month tier, and you get this thing, lossless music, where it's like the greatest form of music you could ever listen to from a sound and fidelity point of view. And we've seen with Neil Young, he had some Pono, I always think it's Sonos, but it's Pono service, which was high-fidelity audio. It doesn't seem like that's done much. And I don't know how much people care about that, how much people are actually audiophiles. Myself, I'm a big music listener. I don't mind the MP3 levels that I get right now. I don't mind from any streaming services. I'm not noticing a huge difference. Maybe if I heard the lossless music, I would notice, but it's just not something that that does a lot for me. I don't mind the compressed versions I get. They're still pretty good. But at $20 a month, you get this lossless music. That can be good, I guess. Still $20 a month. It's either a lot or a little, however you want to look at it. It's hard enough getting people to pay $10 a month, but $20 for that and then some other add-ons that you get. I think video stuff. That's a tough thing to get people to pay for. The big key is not the lossless. It's going to be the frictionless and seamless technology. There's been some reviews of the Tidal early on where it seems like it's a bit buggy. It's got some issues. It's at like a 1 or 2.0 level, whereas the Spotifys of the world are up at the 8.0 or 10.0 level. A lot of these people who have been in the game for a while have been able to perfect the technology to the point where we don't even notice any of the bugs anymore because there aren't any. They've had so many people using it, they've been able to get all the bugs out, get all the features people want. When you're starting early on, there's a lot of that stuff that's taken for granted that users are really going to have a problem with, no matter what their lossless or music or their exclusives they get. The technology has to be seamless and frictionless for the music being lossless to matter. So that's really where we're going to have a key there. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. It's good to have all these competitors in the market, and that's going to be what we look for. So thanks for listening. This is Matt McQueenie of the Mix Minus Podcast. You can find me on iTunes and all the other pod directories there are. And I enjoy speaking with you. Thanks.